to prevent a running play. Worked pretty well in that situation.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And we'll see what he can do on the return. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They start the drive on the ground with Lacey. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Rodgers, the tight end, in motion here. Off the play fake to Lacey. Here's Rodgers. And Nelson's got it here right side. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
Rodgers now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sharif Floyd forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On second down, here's Rodgers. And hauled in here by Richard Rodgers. 11 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. They go play action for Lacey. Now Rodgers. Caught by Nelson left side. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They run it again with Lacey. And a short gain here down to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now a play fake here on first down. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. Ryan. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Perry in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys. Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see. Third and long. It's Ryan. And that's caught by Tammy. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. This is Freeman on first and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Quentin Rollins there on the tackle. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
To throw is Ryan. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. On third down, Ryan. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They're hauling it in, Nelson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. Easy. Halfback sent in motion. From midfield, here's Rodgers. A dump off to Lacey. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Rodgers going to throw. Out in the flat for Starks. And he's brought down. Give him 11 on the gain there. And that leads to a Green Bay first. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Rodgers now on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Rodgers, the tight end, in motion here. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. This will be caught by Nelson for a Packer touchdown. Jordy Nelson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add on to their lead. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. Incomplete on the right side. It's Tammy. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
On 1st down, Ryan. And did he get the feet down? No. They'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 2nd and 10 now, Ryan. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
My high school coach John Ford used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Set to return, this is Jeff Janis. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. They come out here in the eye. Throwing now is Rodgers. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. Open man, the tight end Rodgers. The gain of 39 that time.
Of course we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
I showed it right there, outside of the pocket and on the money. Now a 1st down carry. It's Lacy. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
On 2nd down, Lacy. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
Now, I can't imagine any celebrations being any bigger than your first NFL touchdown. And this rookie running back is still seeking his. He's not going to get it on that play.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Play clock all the way to 0. Didn't get the snap off. 5-yard penalty.
And you see the head coach writing that note on his play sheet right now. He's going to be addressing that with his staff. A sense of urgency. Get to the line of scrimmage. Snap the ball.
They come up in an offset eye. Rodgers going to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion. They come out here in the eye. Rodgers with a give. It's Lacy. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, it's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defense has only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force him to make a really big play against him.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. James Starks with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Extra point try now for Crosby. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return, the old reliable Devin Hester, the veteran. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And he comes back with one complete. A gain of 11 and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews, in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Now Ryan on 2nd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 41 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. On 2nd down, Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And a short return to the 6-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. On the ground, this is Lacy. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
2nd down following the run.
319.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Caught left side by Cobb. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jonathan Babineau. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Donnie Jones now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. And here's a fair catch now, and boy, a very short punt will give them unbelievable field position. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Clay Matthews in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. He'll get the football here. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on third down. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. Third and long. It's Ryan. And this one is incomplete. The Falcons will call on Matt Bryant for the field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And that'll get the deficit back to 16. All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now, you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle.
Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it. And that's going to be a tall order against this defense.
They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They come out here in the eye. On the toss, here's Lacey. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Rodgers to throw on second down. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Now Rodgers will hand to Lacey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Lacey. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And in this situation with a lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defender's going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Ryan. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Sam Shields. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Or just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
But that kind of run on 1st down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
On the counter, here's Lacey. And he's got room. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
How many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
To throw is Rodgers. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Three yards remaining here on 2nd down. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a 1st. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Rodgers going to throw. Open man, the tight end Rodgers. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a 1st down there to the tight end.
Rodgers looking to throw. That's caught at the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They come out here in the I. They'll run it with Lacey. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Richard Rodgers, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, Charles, there's an old saying, don't let a loss beat you twice.
You're exactly right about that, Brandon. When you look at it and all of your preparation went into winning this week, now you have to absorb a loss and find a way to shake it off.
So for Green Bay, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Falcons,